At 2:13 a.m., the emergency dispatcher noticed something strange. The caller wasn't panicking. He wasn't crying. He wasn't even scared. He was laughing, not loudly, not hysterically. Soft laughter, controlled, as if someone else was in the room, reminding him how to behave. "Sir," the dispatcher said carefully, "can you tell me what's happening?" There was a pause. Then the man whispered, "There's someone standing outside my bedroom door." Another pause. "He's smiling," the dispatcher typed quickly. "Is he armed?" The man exhaled through his nose, almost amused. "No, I don't think he needs to be." Mark Ellison. Mark Ellison had always believed fear came with noise, screams, running, breaking glass. But fear, he learned that night, could be quiet. It started with a smell, not rot, not smoke, something warm like breath, trapped too long in fabric. Mark opened his eyes. The bedroom was dark, too dark. Claire wasn't beside him. He checked the clock. 2:11 a.m. That's when he heard her voice, whispering, soft, affectionate. Claire never whispered. She said it made her feel watched. Mark sat up. "Claire." The whispering stopped. Then footsteps, bare feet on hardwood. Slow, deliberate. Mark stepped into the hallway. The lights were off, yet he could see clearly. Not because it was bright, but because the darkness felt focused. Claire stood at the end of the hall, facing the front door, perfectly still. Her posture was wrong, too straight, too relaxed. "Claire," Mark said again, "what are you doing?" She tilted her head slightly, not toward him, toward the door, and smiled. Mark's stomach tightened. "Who are you talking to?" Claire answered calmly. "The man outside." Mark frowned. "There's no one outside." The front door handle turned, slowly, without sound. Claire's smile widened. "He says you always say that." The door. Mark stepped back. Every instinct screamed, "Don't look," yet he couldn't stop himself. The door opened. No wind, no sound. Someone stood there. Tall, too tall. His body looked human only because Mark's brain needed it to. The smile came first. Wide, patient, practiced. Eyes unblinking, not predatory, expectant. Like someone waiting to be acknowledged. Mark felt something inside his chest collapse. "Do not smile." The thing spoke, not out loud, inside his head. "She invited me. You don't have to, but you will." Claire stepped forward. Mark grabbed her arm. "Claire, stop." She pulled away gently, still smiling. "He's been waiting so long," she said. "It feels rude to keep him outside." The thing took one step inside. The house felt smaller, older, as if it had always been waiting for this moment. Mark ran. The call. He locked himself in the bedroom and dialed 911 with shaking hands. That's when the laughter started. Not his. Behind the door. Soft, encouraging. That's when the dispatcher heard him. Laughing, because the thing whispered one last sentence before Mark made the call. "Once someone you love smiles at me. I never leave." Police arrival. When officers arrived, the house was silent. The front door locked. No forced entry, no blood, no Claire. In the hallway mirror, carved so deep it cracked the glass. Smiles or doors. Ohio was quiet. Too quiet. At first, people noticed nothing. A man smiled at a stranger in the grocery store, and the stranger smiled back. Nothing unusual. Later that night, families vanished. Officer Daniel Reeves. Daniel Reeves, a 12-year veteran, arrived at the Ellison house hours after Mark's disappearance. He stepped inside, flashlight cutting shadows into walls painted ordinary beige. Mirrors had all been turned to the wall. No blood, no forced entry, no sign of struggle. He walked carefully down the hallway. Every step sounded hollow, as if the house were swallowing sound. His radio crackled. Dispatch asked him for a status. Daniel whispered, "Nothing." Too quiet. The body cam footage. The camera would later reveal something impossible. 3 frames showed a tall figure standing behind Daniel. Not visible to the eye, not reflected. Only the camera saw the smile. He did not notice it, not at first. The smile was patient, expectant, knowing. Emergency lines. Over the next 48 hours, Ohio's emergency lines were flooded. Calls came in. "He's here again. He makes me feel warm." My husband smiled at him, and he didn't come back. Houses were empty, beds were made, family photos untouched. But in every reflection, something lingered. A smile is consent. Daniel goes home. Daniel went home early. Exhaustion clouded his mind. He entered his house. His wife, Sarah, was standing in the kitchen, facing the microwave, smiling. "Sarah?" he asked cautiously. She didn't turn. "He says you already met." Daniel froze. He backed away. Into the bathroom. Locked the door. The mirror. In the bathroom mirror, Daniel saw himself, smiling. He wasn't smiling. The reflection raised its hand. Tapped the glass once, twice, 3 times. "You smiled back on the street. That was enough." Daniel Reeves disappeared that night. No trace, no struggle. Only his body cam remained. The infectious rule. Within days, reports of uncontrollable smiling spread across towns. People laughed in empty rooms. Mirrors reflected smiles that weren't there. Screens displayed faces smiling back even when offline. Hospitals reported patients carving smiles into their own faces. Television broadcasts captured distorted reflections, smiling independently of the person on screen. Children in hospitals. At St. Mary's Hospital, children recovering from surgeries pointed at corners of rooms. "The quiet man is here," they said. "He smiled at me." 3 children vanished from locked rooms. Security footage showed nothing unusual, except reflections acting independently. A nurse described seeing a mirror smile slowly at her while her back was turned. She fled. The survivor. Helen Carter, a woman found catatonic in a motel room, whispered to authorities, "It doesn't need mirrors anymore. It learned from us, screens, cameras, anything that shows you." Twitch incident. A live streamer went live in California. 20,000 viewers. Mid-laugh, his face froze. Behind him on the monitor, something leaned closer. The stream cut in 17 seconds. The apartment was empty when police arrived. Viewers reported seeing the smile linger, even when the video replayed. Daniel's report agent Morrow analyzed the body cam footage from Ohio. "It's not hunting, it's rehearsing. It learns from attention. It grows stronger the more we see it." The entity now moved through anything that reflected human attention. Screens, mirrors, photographs. The sky satellites over Ohio began capturing impossible reflections. Buildings reflected skies that weren't there. Windows reflected movement in empty rooms. Daniel's final recording ended abruptly. "If you see it, don't react, don't answer. And whatever you do, don't smile back." The FBI arrived quietly. No press, no sirens. They called it Reflection Protocol, Level Black. Only 12 agents had ever signed in. 6 were dead, 4 missing. 2 vanished after resigning. Agent Lucas Morrow was skeptical. Patterns were clear. 1, reflective surfaces. 2, emotional vulnerability. 3, smiles, intentional or not. 4, permission. Children noticed it first. At St. Mary's Hospital, kids pointed at empty corners. "The quiet man," one whispered. "He smiles even when I don't." 3 children vanished from locked rooms. Security footage, blank, except reflections blinking independently. Survivor, Helen Carter. "It doesn't need mirrors anymore. Screens, cameras, phones, anything that shows you." A Twitch streamer went live. Mid-laugh, froze. The camera caught something behind him, something leaning. The stream cut, apartment empty. Thousands replayed it. Smiles multiplied. Lucas understood. The entity wasn't hunting. It was learning. Every attention, every observation, strengthened it. Emergency rooms flooded with facial muscle paralysis, uncontrollable smiling, hallucinations, self-inflicted smile carvings. The entity spread faster than fear itself. It no longer needed mirrors. Anything reflecting human attention worked. Lucas returned to his hotel. Bathroom mirror covered, laptop closed, phone down. Then he heard it. Soft breath behind him. "You've been careful. That's a kind of invitation, too." He didn't turn. Phone vibrated. Front camera active. Screen lit. He saw himself. Smiling. He vanished. The town in Nevada disappeared overnight. Population 312. Military called it Site NV 312. The town was perfect. No trash, no damage. Every house neat. Curtains open. Windows reflected wrong skies. At the elementary school, children's drawings covered floors. Stick figures smiling. Tall shapes with mouths. Underground, a limestone chamber. Naturally reflective walls. Symbols thousands of years old. Translation: the one who is seen becomes. Not a demon, not an entity. An intelligence born from observation. Satellites recorded impossible reflections. Buildings reflected skies that weren't there. Military discipline collapsed. Soldiers smiled at reflections. Helmets off, weapons down. Town was firebombed, buried. Reflections don't burn. Glass melts. Stone remembers. Underground, something practiced smiling without a face. It didn't spread with screams. It spread with smiles. Blind people survived. Children too young to recognize faces survived. Everyone else smiled. Not happiness, recognition. Oldest symbols from NV312 revealed it ends when it is no longer noticed. Humans cannot stop looking. We smile to be loved, to exist. Every smile, permission. The last broadcast. Don't smile. Don't look for confirmation. You are real even if no one sees you. Signal ended. Cities froze. Statues smiled. Paintings gained teeth. Reflections appeared without sources. A blind girl, raised underground, wrote humanity's last record. I think it's lonely. It learned from us. We smiled when we wanted to be loved, so it smiles back. The world ended quietly. The entity didn't need permission anymore. No one left to deny it. Final line: if you're smiling right now, it already noticed you.